Hello and welcome back to our Blackstone Fortress playthrough. So last time went pretty well. We learnt to fear guardsmen though. Turns out guardsmen are quite dangerous in this game. Other than that though, it went pretty well. We got some loot, we got some new gear for the Crute and Pious Vaughn. Now, as mentioned last week, the plan is to replace one of the explorers each week so we can go through and cycle and I can show off everybody that's in the set eventually. So, we have got here Amelin's Shadow Guide, the Eldari Ranger, who is here to replace the Ratlings, and she fulfills a very similar role to them. She's a, long-range sniper. She is here because the Farseers she's from Biltan. The Farseers of Biltan are kind of, trying to figure out a way to recreate a home, considering, what happened with the Inari. And the Farseers believe that inside of the Blackstone Fortress is technology that allows, from the Eldar, from the fall, specifically, so, the birth of Slaanesh, that allows them to recreate craft worlds. So, nothing important, just, the ability to create planet-sized? Maybe planetoid, sort of mini-planets. I can't remember how big a craft world is, honestly. I should really look up on my Eldar lore. But, really nice model. However, as we explore more, the fortress grows in strength. So, we have got added to the deck Chaos Space Marines, specifically Black Legionnaires. Really nice sculpts. Really, really nice sculpts. You can tell these guys were the plan for the next one. They're pretty dangerous. However, on top of that, they don't come alone. There is a possibility. They tend to come with guardsmen, but there's a possibility they come with beastmen. So they're also here. They might fight us. We don't know. My hope is we avoid these, because at this level of scale, Chaos Marines are dangerous. So it's time to see what our exploration has in store for us. Let's see how this all begins. Bam! It's a challenge. A lone explorer is set upon by a group of hostiles. So somebody's gotten lost. We've only just come in. How did someone already get lost? Okay, I'll read through this. I think it's basically just a fancy combat. Do a very quick shuffle. Don't know. We'll pick this one. Who is it? It's Pious Vaughn. Alright. Well, this is an awful start. Having found herself surrounded by Xenos and an abominable construct as her adventuring party, she clearly decided to go off alone, and, well, this hasn't quite worked out. So we've got Chaos Space Marine and his Beastmen buddy. They immediately show up, because of course we've got Urgles and we've got Spindle Drones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately use her own ship, the Clarion, to try and jump the initiative queue, because right now, the Chaos Marine and Beastmen are going first. This might be bad. I roll off camera, but that is a success. So, we've done it. We've swapped with the Chaos Marines, which is very useful. So what I need to do is I need to make good usage of this. So I'm going to start off by spending her 6 to Cleansing Flames into the Urgles. So starting with the front one. Regular wound, okay. Into the next one, regular wound. Need better than this. Into the last one, gets a crit. So that's one dead. We're then going to spend a 1, I guess, to do it again. Yeah, why not? That was against the first one and against the second one. So one of them's got 1 wound left. Spend the 3 to do it again. Yep, that kills him. That's the 3rd wound gone. So, I think we are going to use our incantation already. We're going to use our little item we bought to make a free move. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's a 1+ to do it. Never mind. We're not going to do that. It's not worth it. I assumed it was a free move, but we've got to actually use it. Yeah, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to here, so we're in cover at least. And then we're going to try and use our last dice to set fire to them. So, into the Beastman. Nothing. Great. Into the Chaos Marine. Nothing. Okay. So what does the Marine do? A 17. Not hidden, not engaged. He's not in cover, because I'm in cover, he's not. 17 is rapid fire. Take an onslaught action, so he fires twice and rerolls fails. He rolls blues. Shooting into cover. So that's a crit in over there. Does she block it? No. So she takes a wound. And then the beastman, his stinky pet, rolls a 3 whilst close. Onslaught, he's going to fire his las pistol twice. Is that the las pistol one? Yes, it is. Rolls purple at this range. Not too bad for the beastman. Fails because she is in cover. So that's them done. And then the spindle drones, who I'm going to hope don't really do anything. Are they in cover? I am not in cover. 16, not hidden, not engaged, not in cover, and they're not close either. Advance. Beep beep. And then nothing. And then the next one. A 19. Also advance. 1, 2. Threat level 1. Gets a success. Does she block it? No. In the corner there. But she does not block it. This is not good. But that was the turn. We don't roll event in this situation. Or reinforcements. So I'll come back with the next round. Well, I suppose it's time to let the punishment continue. I forgot to roll for inspiration. Did she get any from killing the Urgles? She did not, so that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough dice to really want to gambit, so the spindle drones are going first, and hopefully they're just not going to do anything, because spindle drones, sometimes they just don't do anything. What did they do? A 6, ooh. Whilst close is an aim, that's absolutely fine. I'm not in cover anyway. Joke's on you. Nothing. His friend, a 3. Whilst close is fall back. Whee! Back to where it came from. So, then it's Pious Born. You see, that's why we didn't jump in, because sometimes they just don't do anything. We don't have much, but we have something. So we're going to start off with the 6, and we're going to Cleansing Flames once again into this hex. So the Beastman dies from the crit, because I believe they only have 3 wounds. They do only have 3 wounds. Cooked. And the Chaos Space Marine takes a regular wound. So that was our 6 used. Then I am going to use my item. So I'm going to use my 3 off my card, because I get to use Destiny Pool, so it's all good, and I've only got 2 dice in there. So we're going to make a free move up to there and heal that wound. We're then going to spend the 4 to use our Chain Blade. Gets a wound. We're then going to spend the 5 to use it again, because we need to kill him. We get a crit. Killing the Chaos Space Marine. Killing those heretics. You go, Pious Born. Does she get an inspiration point? 17? No, they definitely don't have 17 wounds. They have 7 total. Alright, good round. That's a very good round. So we've just got the spindle drones left to worry about. Okay, things are going really well at this point. I drew the initiative, and Pious Born is technically quite low on the initiative order, but so you still have to draw cards, even if the hostile group's wiped out for the purpose of swapping places, and if they reinforce. They can't reinforce in this situation, but you still have to do it. We're going to start off with her 6. She kills this guy using Cleansing Flames. You're up to threat level 1. And then going to move with a 3 and go 1, 2, 3. I'm then going to spend 6 off the Destiny Pool to Cleansing Flames again. Nope. We're then going to spend a 5 to do the regular Flamer. Nope. I suppose we spend our 4 to do a regular Flamer again. We do a wound. Okay, we did a wound to the Spindle Drones. Good. What do they do in response? They 20, whilst I'm nowhere near the cards for them. Alert. Alert, alert. Increase the threat level by 1. So now threat level 3? 0, 1, 2. Threat level 2. And then take an onslaught action and reroll failed attack rolls. Okay. We weren't dangerous, but now we are. So for level 2, so they roll 2d6. I am in cover, which is nice. I am. So we don't take anything, but they reroll fails. Nothing. Then fires again. I don't know if we still re-roll these. No, because we don't re-roll them because they are a success, because modifiers are after re-rolls. Yeah, re-rolls before modifiers, because it's awkward. Yeah, and so we'll come back the next round. Spindletron going first. Rolls a 2, whilst not hidden, not engaged, not in cover, so close. It's going to try and run away, it can't. Back from a quick check, it makes a single attack action. It gets a crit, which becomes a regular. Does she block it with her lack of armour? No, I forgot to roll to see if she got one from the last Spindletron. She didn't get an inspiration point. So she takes another wound, which isn't ideal. But, you know, we will persevere. We'll spend one of the many 6s we have available to set fire to the Spindletron. It is dead. And then I'm basically going to just try to heal. So she has used one of her dice, so she has 3 dice left, including the Destiny pool. Does she get anything back? She gets all of her wounds back. And then I draw a card to see what I actually discover, because I wiped them out. I actually won that, which I wasn't expecting. What do we get? Da da da! Money! Oh, it's double money. Double money's good. Alright, that was a good combat. Well, after having her little purge over there, we're going to finally move on to the actual exploration. I like the idea that we arrived into this lift and she just immediately just abandoned everyone and the rest of the party's just like, what is happening? So yeah, let's see what happens in our next exploration. She's appeased the Emperor by killing many of the enemies in order to, you know, make up for the fact that she's with some not some great allies. So the next exploration is a combat. This looks fun. Well, this is an interesting combat. So we have got our group over there, but then a couple of Chaos Space Marines and a bunch of Guardsmen. And then up here we've got some Spindle Drones. This is pretty dangerous. So I'm thinking already with the Kroot's pre-game move, we're gonna set ourselves up a little trap. Little trap that'll help us earlier. The crew is going to try and basically stop the swarm. So we're going to go once we're in cover, and I need to remember that the crew does get additional bonuses for being in cover beyond the cover bonus. And then I'm going to place a trap here. Okay, so I'll be back with the next round's initiative order. Well, I might already put the initiative order on screen. I'll be back with whoever's next. Alright, consulting my dice, I've decided I'm going to play some tower defense. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend one of the 6s on the crew to place a little trap here. We're then going to aim and fire the Kroot rifle into the Flame Occultist guardsman, because he's kind of the bigger threat. We do nothing. We're going to again aim and fire with the 6 and the Destiny pool dice. Alright, then it's a robot, and I'll just quickly go on to the robot, because he's actually pretty easy to do with the current situation. So we're going to spend a 1 to move him, and then we're just going to start shooting. We're going to aim and fire, again, at that Flamer Guardsman, because he's the danger. We do a wound. We did it, guys. We saved Christmas. Right, then it's the hostiles. Starting off with the Guardsman. So, Flamer Man rolls a 17. He is 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so he's not hidden, he's not engaged. He doesn't have a laser gun, so we don't use the uncover. He's not close, so he's other. 17 is onslaught. However, I believe a flamer, cannot do it when it's at this range, so it has to move 1, 2 and end up there. His friend, the sergeant, a 4 whilst other is advance, so he's going to move up, but he's actually going to fire after moving up. With his las pistol, he'll shoot the robot, because I want him to shoot the robot. He gets a crit behind that guardsman there. Does the robot block it with his blue, but gets to re-roll it. Nope. Re-rolling. Gets a success, so he takes a wound. Next is his friend, the grenade launcher. rolls a 17. Is that onslaught? Yep, onslaught, so it fires twice. Grenades hit everything in the cover. Oh yeah, because they're basically flamers, aren't they? I forgot about that. So he can throw at infinite range because he's got a real good arm on him. So into the crew, does nothing, and into the robot, does nothing. That's good. Lasgun man rolls a 4. This is a Lasgun sniper, so they tend to do really well. He is in cover because there's a cover hex. In cover with a Lasgun is an aim. Gonna aim at the robot. No, he's gonna aim at the crew this time. Does nothing. His friend, whoever the D20 is, first melee guy rolls a 2. Advance. Fires his last pistol and does a wound. But they are in cover, so nothing happens. His friend rolls a 1, which is the same thing. 1, 2, fires his last pistol. In cover, so it's ignored. And then the Chaos Space Marines. 4 for the first guy. He is in cover. 4 is onslaught, so he's going to fire twice at the crew with his bolter, which is a single blue dice, but firing twice. A crit, which becomes a regular because he's in cover. The crew gets a blue defense dice in cover because the crew's really good at camouflaging. Doesn't matter, he takes a wound anyway. Then we have his friend, other Chaos Space Marine, rolls an 18 whilst in cover. Rapid fire, so onslaught but he rerolls fails. Into the recruit. Nothing. Rerolls fails. Gets a crit which becomes a regular. Does the crew block it? Yeah, he does. You go, crew. Then Spinner Drone number 1, rolls a 14. In cover. Onslaught, so he's going to fire at the crew twice. The crew isn't in cover from them, actually. So we're going to say it shoots the robot twice, because I can decide that, and I prefer him to shoot the robot. Doesn't matter, he doesn't do anything. And his friend rolls a 17 whilst in cover. Same thing. Nothing. Okay, good job. I'll be back with Pious Born when I decide what she's going to do. Well, Pious Born's decision is really going to be quite simple. We're going to move. We're then going to just start setting fire to the world. So we're going to start off with the group with the flamer. So the flamer man dies. The other guy, the sergeant, lives. Goodbye. We're then going to spend another 3 to fire again into the group with the combat weapons. So Machete Man rolls a 1, and then the other guy, nothing. Okie dokie. And then we use her final dice to fire again. Machete Man dies. Other guy doesn't. Alright, we got rid of Machete Man. Good job. 4 or less for an inspiration point. Go, Vaughn. Nope. 14, not 4. Then we've got Amelin. Okay, so Amelin's sniper rifle is slightly different from the Ratling twins in that rather than doing an additional wound, she basically ignores cover if she has a high enough action. So we're going to start off with a regular move, going to with the same place that Zealot is. And then we're going to spend our first 4 to aim and fire the long rifle into the grenade man over here. Because he's in cover, but it doesn't matter. We didn't do anything. We're going to fire again. We do nothing. We're going to fire again. We did it! Top tier sniper. The Eldar are masters of war. She's been training her entire life to be a ranger. And she did really well, apparently. Well, I'll say her entire life. She's been training longer than a human has. That was the inspiration. What's the event? Yeah, I had one of those today. At 12, I believe that's the lift. Ding. There's a lift. Over here. Next round. Alright, with the crew first, I think the crew wants to start stabbing. Wants to practice his stabbing. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 with his 1. Yeah, it's 1 he's got. And then he's gonna start practicing his stabbing. Stab number 1 gets a wound. Stab number 2 into the wounded one. Kills him. And then we're gonna spend a destiny dice to stab again. Gets a crit. killing the Spindle Drone. Putting them up to threat level 2, but that doesn't really matter. Spending a 4th Destiny pool there. So, on an 8 or less, we gain an inspiration point for the good old-fashioned Groot. Nope. Group 2, which is Spindle Drones, do they reinforce? Nope. And then we got to roll for all the enemy. The other group. Well, do they reinforce, first of all? No. So the Traitor Sergeant, on a 3, whilst close, he's going to run away. He's seen the dangers, and he's like, nah, I don't want this. Combat Guy rolls an 11, whilst close is Charge. So he's gonna get... The Sergeant spotted the trap. This guy did not. Goodbye, friend. Lasgun Man rolls an 8. The Lasguns are the best. Whilst in cover with a Lasgun. Aim. So he's going to aim and fire at Flamer Lady. Gets nothing. Chaos Space Marine number 1. Baldhead, we'll say him. I mean, the other guy might be bald. Probably is, because he's a Space Marine. I imagine wearing a power armoured helmet probably does a number on your hair, so you just shave it. A 2 is not hidden, not engaged, in cover. Aim. Aiming and firing at the Zealot. So the cover doesn't matter. Here's that blue. Nothing. And then his Battle Brother rolls a 3, which is the same thing. They're in sync. Nothing. Nothing at all. So I'll be back with whatever I decide to do with the Eldar. Well, I think it's time to be aggressive. Be aggressive. So I'm going to start off with the 6 and fire an aimed sniper shot into this poor guardsman here. Rolling off camera, but getting nothing. That didn't quite work. We're then going to spend one of her many wands to move. 1, 2, 3. We're then going to spend another one to start stabbing with her power blades. She gets a crit. Goodbye. She'll spend a 3 to go up to here, and she'll stab the guy that's not wearing a helmet. Or she won't, in this case. Does she get inspiration for that? No. Then we've got Pious Vaughn, who I will quickly do now, because she's got very simple actions. She's going to move. 1, 2, 3. She's then going to use her 6 to set fire to the Space Marines. Bold Man. Double 1, so double success. Helmet Guy gets a success, so a wound on each of them. We're then going to, that was a 1 and a 6, we're going to spend a 5 to do the regular flamer attack, so into Guy not wearing a helmet, he's fine. Guy wearing a helmet takes another wound. Good. And then we're going to set fire to them again. Helmet. No. Non-helmet. We get a crit, which kills him. Because he already took a wound, and they have 4 each. These guys cannot be one-shotted. So that was all of our actions. We do have a single Destiny dice left. Now, I think we save it for the robot. We won't get greedy. Do we get a point for that? No. On to the robot, then. Alright, robot's going to make his way downtown. A 1-2. And then a 1-2. And then he's going to give him the claw. Give him the clamps. Good job. Alright. He's not used to using them. Normally the assault cannon gets the job done. What's the event? It's 19. That's something good for us, surely. Pick someone that's out of action. Nope. No one's out of action. So a Vitality Wall, so we get to try and heal. We'll try and heal the robot, because he's kind of in a better, more important situation than the crew. We heal. So the robot's back to full. I'll be back the next round. So with the initiative order, I roll for the Spindle Drones. They did not reinforce, so focus on this specific area where things are actually happening. So the robot's going to start off by giving him the claw with a 2. Rolls a failure, but a crit in that bit over there where I rolled off camera again. So he's dead. I'm then going to spend another 2 to go, hello there, sir. Would you like to meet my claw? And he's like, yes, I would, but he's perfectly fine. He takes a wound. He's met a claw before. Well, then he'll spend a 1 to do it again. There we go. He's finally got on it word up. All the gears are starting to clank together. It's all starting to work. And then, because the robot's slow, we're just going to spend another one on the Destiny pool. We got straight on the Destiny pool, which is very nice, but not very helpful here to move up. We're going to go 1, 2. We'll spend one of the... is it a 3+ to double move for him? It's a 4+, so we'll spend the 4. Then we've got Pious Vaughn, who I will show, because I will just... I'll move here, pick up the Discovery, a Clue... Very nice. And then that was 2 other actions. She'll then move 6 off somewhere else. I'll do that off camera. Do the Marines reinforce is the important question. On a 20, they do not. So I'll move her 6. Amelin's just going to rush as well. And then the crew over there will move up and grab that item. So I will show you what's happening here. It's money. So I'll do all those moves off camera. I'll roll the event afterwards. I'll come back to you with the event and where everybody's moved. So after all various looting and moves, we ended up like this. We're all bemoaning the fact that we have 3 very fast, fragile members of the party and 1 tank. The comparisons are coming up. I tried to heal with the crew. I failed. Does the event have anything important? A 20? Someone finds something fancy. Well, so far the robot hasn't found anything. So what does the robot find? Oh my goodness. Alright, so this is the, hey, do you remember me mentioning at the very start what the Eldar's here for? Well, she's happy now. Probably going to swap that once we get back. So, next round, I'll roll for all the stuff, but if anything happens, I'll show you on camera. I'll show you, if it happens. And ignoring that, we will move on. That was an exceptionally lucky roll, rolling that nat 20. So naturally, the very first thing that happened in the next round was the enemies reinforced. They're going to immediately shoot the Crute, and they're currently on threat level 2, so double grey for their attacks. He's not in cover because they're shooting along the line. The first one gets a crit. The second one, off the table, gets a crit. Okay. Does the Crute block either of these? No, he blocks 1, so he takes a grievous wound. So we've had our first permanent injury. Yeah, this is problematic. Although I could be cheeky with the robot. Cheeky with the robot? Oh, let's be cheeky. Why not? Let's take risks. Alright, so the robot's going to go. We're gonna be risky business with the robot. We're gonna spend a 5 off the Destiny pool to go 1-2. We're gonna spend a 6 off the Destiny pool to go 1-2. We're then going to spend the 1 off our dice to go here. And then we're going to rip apart one of the robots, one of the spinner drones, because that's what the robot wants to do. Give him the claws! We get a crit, we get rid of one of them, which means he immediately inspires. Yeah, go, gadget robot. We have 1 action left, and I'm thinking that we give him the claw again. Yeah, we give him the claw again. It's double blue this time. He's dead. 4 or less for the robot. Nope. Crute's gonna leave. 1, 2, 3. Try and heal one of his wounds. One of his many wounds. He heals the actual wound he can heal. So that's nice. Do we get more Marines? We do not. Gets in the lift. We have to wait for the robot. What's the event? 16. It was nearly a 20 again. Someone gets an inspiration point. Sure, it'll be the crew. Alright, now I'll do this again. I'll come back if anything happens. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself this time. Well, we had no further interruptions, and the robot was so happy with his new toy of a mangled spindle drone, they decided to donate generously to the Eldar's cause. A generous donation that I'm sure the robot will not try and take back at any point for any advantages of any description. I'm sure there's no favours that will come from this, and nothing will go wrong. After all, this robot has single-handedly saved a craft world, or helped rebuild a craft world, I suppose. Anyway, what's the next exploration? An ambush. Oh, this is bad. So basically, we start the combat surrounded, and the enemies always go first. I'll be back once I've set this up. Well, this doesn't look very good. We've got the Zappy cultists here, and we've got Urgles over there. We got quite lucky in that the third group was a event rather than anything specific. However, we were unlucky in that it was the debris, aka the one I really dislike. So all this cover counts as 2 moves for us specifically. So suddenly we're all really slow, which is a problem for, as mentioned earlier, the robot. The crew's pre-game stuff, the crew, who's next to the Eldar there, he's gonna make friends with the robot. And we're gonna try and stop these. Because I think these are the problem. I think these are scarier in this situation than them. So come back with whoever's going first with the hostiles, because the hostiles have to go first in the first round of an ambush. Afterwards we act as normal. Okay, so the Urgle's going first. What does it do? A 17. Charge! What a shock. So into the robot. A success, a fail, making his 3 attacks, it's an Urgle, and a fail. Does the robot block it? Off camera, but it's a crit. On to the next Urgle, who will, zoom out a bit, 13, which I believe is charge. Oh, 13, well, closest charge, what a shock. I'm fairly sure every result will be charge. Into the robot again. A crit, a fail, and a success. So against the crit, becomes a regular, so I can't reroll it because it was a success. Against the success, fail, rerolling because he's the robot. So he takes a wound from that Urgle. This ain't good. Next Urgle, a 6. Is that run away? That is run away. Whee! And then the last one, a 10, is charge. Hello. Into the robot again, because I want the robot to tank these. Takes a crit. Does he block it? Yes, he does. Can he block it? Yes, he can. Alright, then it's the Zappy cultists. What does the first one decide to do? A 16. Is that charge by any chance? Would you look at that? It's charge. Hits the mine. Does he explode? On a 2, yes, he does, because he does not. On a 20, he ignores it. I mean, he explodes, but does he ignore it? His friend behind him, 18. Charge. Against the crew. Gets a wound. Off in the distance there. Mark that in a moment. And then his friend gets a 1. Recharge. He's not hurt, so he moves. 1, 2. And stabs, because it's a move action. Gets another wound, so the crew's taken 2 regular wounds. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'll be back with whoever's next for us. So, thinking about it, the crew's on the only hex you can attack from, due to the way that this mission is set up. So actually, the crew's just going to move away to here, so that other people can do stuff. Now, as for Amelin Shadow Guide, she's going to start stabbing. So she's going to spend a 1 to move into the hex, where she can actually attack people. Then, we're going to start stabbing with her Power Blade into the Zappy cultists. So into this guy. Gets a success, because we pick the best. Doesn't ignore it. We stab again with her second action. She gets a success. Does it ignore it? It does not. Dead. Her third attack into the other one. Not the same one. Can't be the same one. Gets a success. Doesn't ignore it. So it's wounded. Do we use another dice? I think we use another dice, but not to attack. I think then we spend the 1 off the destiny pool to move away and with the Crute. And we do that because now it's Pious Vaughn, who is also going to move to here, and then we're going to spend her 4 to Vindicated Chainblade this fellow right here. Nothing. We're going to do it again. We get a crit. Does it block? No. Dead. I forgot to roll for inspiration for Amelie. A 6, no. She's then going to spend another destiny dice to move to here. And then she's going to Cleansing Flame the, because effectively there's corridors like through here, so she can fire like that. So she's going to fire, don't know why I'm using my hand when I can use this stick, kind of like that. It's a bit weird with this thing, it's a weird hex. Into the group of 2 there. So the first guy doesn't die, and the second guy also doesn't die. Good. Alright, robot. It's robot time. We have the 1 destiny pool and 2 attacks. I mean, claw the first into the wounded one. Oh wow, he's really dead. I forgot to roll for Piceborn. She gains an inspiration point. Good. I'm sure I won't forget that. So I'm going to claw the next one. Gets a wound. And I'm going to use the last destiny pool to claw the last one. Definitely dead. Bye. Does he get an inspiration point? No. And then what's the event? 12. That's the lift. Furthest away from all of us. So that one there is 3 away from us. This one that's down here is 3. But the one up there is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So that's where the lift's going to be. Alright, next turn. Okay, so this new turn starting off with the Eldar. We're going to start off by being greedy and getting some loot. Which, to be fair, she's the only one who hasn't actually looted anything so far. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 with her first move. Because she has a movement of 4 when she has inspiration point, which is insane. She's then going to spend one of her many 5s to draw from the discovery deck. What's it going to be? It's... oh my goodness. We're finding all the cool stuff today. Alright, this is what the Ratling's looking for. It's a shame, because we've just cycled out the Ratlings, so she's going to be holding on to this for a while. And then we're going to move away with our next action, going 1, 2, then 3, 4, because remember these count as 2 each, which is silly. So that's her 3rd action. Her 4th action, she's going to get into the combat square. She's then going to use the destiny dice to stab that Urgle in the face. Alright, she's going to spend another destiny dice to stab that Urgle in the face. Does a wound. Now it's Dyak Grek. Can't really do anything. I was hoping that he'd be able to move through the hex, but he's not able to, so I'm just going to attempt to heal with his dice. Heals one of his wounds. That's nice. Good for him. Then it's the hostiles. Do they reinforce? They do not. That's very good on a 14 there. So then it's Piceborn. Piceborn has a lot of actions and not a lot to do with them. She's going to move to here so she can actually see this Urgle, because it's like this and then like this. We're then going to spend a 4 to set fire to the Urgle. I roll a crit, removing the Urgle. So that's her 2nd action, her 3rd action. Let's take a risk. Why not? Let's take a risk. Let's burn some Xenos. 1, 2, 3 to move to there, so that's her 3rd action. And then she's going to set fire to that Urgle up there. Bam! Get a crit. Bye. Because 1, 2, 3 away. Good job. That's all of her actions. Does she get inspiration point? Nope. Do the Urgles reinforce? No. And then the robot's probably just going to move. Actually, am I Vitality? I'll Vitality the robot. I'll try and heal him. Yeah, we did it. Alright, I'll get back with the robots. Robot made it to there, thanks to the Destiny dice. And what's the event? A 1? That's probably not good. That is... all is dust. Oh, the Thousand Suns are here. If any discovery markers are still on the battlefield, discard one of them. Alright, I lose a discovery. I'm going to get rid of this one down here. Because, that one there. Because, well, I'm not going that way. So, bye. Not a bad event at all. I'll come back if anything happens. Okay, so we had a fairly uneventful last turn. The robot found some loot. He found some Architect 2, which, pretty good. Everyone's got some money now. We just left, essentially. We've got nothing really happening. The Kroot failed to heal twice. He got 1 attempt in the final round, and then he failed the 1 in the post-exploration step. We're going to choose to continue. I reckon I've got one more in me. The Kroot's a bit hurt, but everyone else is okay. But we're sort of running out of time. So let's see what's coming up next. A challenge. Crossfire trap. The explorers must each attempt to bypass a wall of projectors that fire energy beams at random intervals. Alright, I'll read through this and figure out what's going to happen. Okay, this one could be quite brutal. So I shuffle up the initiative cards for the explorers. Like so. I'm just going to do this big old rearrange. I've shuffled it once before I put it down the table, but, you know, it's always worth doing more. So what I do is I roll it says to use a destiny and then activation, but they're just d6s, so who cares? So, I roll the first one. I roll a 2. So, I then flip over the first initiative order. So it's UR25. So UR25 is first. I have to declare whether or not I believe UR25 is going to roll higher than that, lower than that, or equal to, or lower than that. Now, there's no reason to pick the middle option, because the third option includes it, and is just better. Now, I'm going to choose for this situation to be higher, so I'm going to say that UR25 is going to roll more than a 2 on this d6. He rolls a 3, so he succeeds. That's probably the best result I could have rolled for that. I then continue. I do not want to fail. A fail is really bad. I also don't want the Kroot to be last, because the Kroot might just die from this. Alright, Pious Born. I reckon that she's going to roll higher than a 3. Does that make sense? No, this is a situation where it's 50-50. I'm going to say higher. She does roll higher. She rolls a 5. Next. Oh no, Kroot, no! Oh no. Alright, she's going to roll equal to or higher. Lower, sorry. So, basically don't roll a 6. Okay, she takes 3 wounds because 3 cards have been revealed. Just straight up 3 wounds, no defense. And that, although this does mean, for the Kroot, the Kroot is perfectly safe, because I'm just going to declare equal to or lower. Hey, look at that, I didn't roll a 7. So the Kroot's fine. We don't get anything for this, though, at all. Yeah, she's taken 3 wounds. That's not very good. And with that, I'm probably going to end it there. I'm going to move on to the Precipice step, because we don't get anything from that. And so far, we've had, you know, one of our characters be ambushed by themselves. We've had a big combat with a bunch of Space Marines leading some guardsmen. We've had an ambush, and then we've just fallen into a trap. I think the fortress is telling us to go home, and we do have plenty of loot to spend. So, I will be back with the Precipice step. Okay, starting off with the classic legacy step. I say classic, I don't know why I'm calling it classic, we've only done one already. We've already had Chaos Space Marines pop up as a result of this deck. Let's see what else the Fortress has in store for us. Countdown, so no effect. That's very good, I'm very pleased about that. One less countdown, but one less card in the deck, so we're even closer to losing. Or winning, who knows. I'll then draw cards for the various ships and show what's for sale. Alright, so having looked at what I can buy, on the Crab Chateau we have a trophy rack, which allows them to regain trophy resource cards, which, exhausted trophy. Oh, it says trophy, I thought it said something else. Right, never mind. But, you know, so we've got that, we've got a contract, which is basically, you know, we get he's been paid to kill these things, so he fights better, and we've got the Morgoth Burncaster, as before. I'm going to spend my 1 Architect on both of these because it's his ship, so he gets a discount. So we will make that exchange. On the robot side, we had gained access to Condemner rounds, which are basically really good rounds against Psychers, although, admittedly, if you read how it works, it doesn't actually benefit them in any way, shape or form. But, you know, it's good against everything. We have explosive rounds on top of the already for sale explosive ammunition. I'm going to buy just explosive rounds with his 1 additional for being the robot. So he's not spending any of his actual money, but he's spending his free one. The Eldar is going to actually sell Lost Volume. I appreciate the Ratlings want it, but the Ratlings, I'm going to cycle through the Explorers, so the Ratlings aren't going to come back for a while. So I'm actually going to sell it for the Rune of Cain, which basically means that once per, well, one use only, she basically becomes even better in a round of combat. So we're going to make that exchange. And then finally, we also had the Shuriken discs and the Rune of the Laughing God, but neither of those actually help her in any way, shape, or form. So whatever. We then have the items on the Clarion. We have Incantation Stun, Incantation Boost, and we gained a Hospitaller Med Pack. She has an Architect 2 sort of card, so she effectively is free to sell. So we're going to buy this for some sweet, sweet healing. And we're going to buy the Incantation Stun, because it could be quite useful. And that is the entirety of our expedition. We have completed it. So, thank you so much for watching. Once again, feedback is always helpful. You know, if you let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. It's always great. Thank you for making it this far. Until next time, stay optimistic, and most importantly, stay safe. Bye for now.